Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Real Madrid 4, Girona nil. That was, you can't even say unexpected because that would be an understatement. That was shocking. Not because of Real Madrid, in which I was shocked as to how well Real Madrid play, because it felt forever since we saw this version of Real Madrid. Where is this version of Real Madrid and where has this version of Real Madrid went? You know, last time out against Atletico Madrid, we didn't see this version of Real Madrid. Last time out against Getafe, Las Palmas, Almeria, and even the Atletico Madrid game in the Copa del Rey. The last time I thought Real Madrid played really, really well was probably against Barcelona in the Super Copa. But we haven't seen this version of Real Madrid, and there is a reason to it. It's not as in Real Madrid just decided to turn up today, and we'll get on to that. But Girona, I mean, what happened to Girona today? The team that everyone's been talking about, playing really, really, really well, and they have been this season. They have really found themselves overachieving, and in fact, competing for the La Liga title. I think Champions League is pretty much secured. They are 11 points clear of Athletic Club Bilbao, although Athletic Club do have a game in hand. So if Athletic Club beat Almeria away, it could be problematic because Girona play Athletic Club away midweek. So that will be a big game. That will be a big game because if Barcelona, if Atletico Madrid, and if Athletic Club Bilbao all win, Barcelona are 3 points from Girona. Atletico Madrid would be as well, like I said, 5 points, and the most important one is Athletic Club Bilbao because they will be 8 points, right behind Girona. I don't think Real Betis can catch. Yeah, they are too far back. So realistically, Girona have to be looking behind them right now because 8 points to Athletic Club Bilbao. If Athletic Club do find a way, to find that win, which I think they will, but if they win against Girona, 5 points is going to be really, really nerve-wracking for Girona. And this is a side that everyone was saying, you know what, they are La Liga title contenders, in which they were, and technically they still are. But behind them, there are a pack of wolves hunting them down as well. So they have to be careful while they're looking up as La Liga titles, and they're looking at Real Madrid. They have to look down because Barcelona are coming, Atletico Madrid are gonna come, and sooner or later Athletic Club Bilbao will come after them as well. So that table does not look as well as it did for Girona. Let's talk about the game. 16 shots and 6 shots on target for Real Madrid. 5 shots and 0 shots on target for Girona. This wasn't one of those games that, okay, Girona had more shots or more of the ball, or they just played better in general, but they lost because they were unlucky. Real Madrid really dominated, and if you go and watch the game again, you watch the highlights, Real Madrid were dominating 90 minutes of the game. It was no doubt that Real Madrid from start to finish had control, and we're wondering if Girona could do something. And I think that a lot of people expected Girona to put a stronger and better fight, and I did expect that as well. I said 3-1, I believe. I didn't expect this sort of a beating, but having more shots on target than Girona have shots in the whole game. makes Girona look embarrassing, doesn't it? And you can tell, 54% possession to 46, just slightly more passes, but it doesn't really matter, does it? The same amount of pass accuracy. Defensively, 5 tackles won each, 62% success rate, I believe, for Real Madrid, and 50% for Girona. So look, offensively, we know the qualities that Real Madrid show, and we know the difference. But defensively as well, whenever Girona were coming at Real Madrid, whether it was um, Savio or Duvbik or Tizankov, Real Madrid dealt with it, and everyone in the starting 11 played really well. Like, there isn't a player that I would say that started played horrendously. Like, there is not a single player that had a bad game in the starting 11. Everyone, out of 5, at least a 4. Like, there's not a single player that has played really, really poorly, and you have to, give credit, because Carvajal and Tchouaméni were the centre backs. You know, um, Lucas Vazquez had to come in as well. So this is a side that had to readjust the defense and still won comfortably. This is not, the strongest Real Madrid team that could have been put out there. So credit where credit's due, definitely. But why did Girona lose? And that is, I think, a naive question. But why did Girona lose 4-0? And how did Real Madrid dominate the game so much? And I think the only answer to that question can be explained by Michel and Girona and the tactics. I know Michel wasn't on the touchline, but he would have set his team up for this game with the same approach that they take into every game, which is this kind of 4-2-3-1 formation, but it is an offensive team. It is a team that likes to go on the attack, counter attack, press. They play very offensive, and when they do play very offensive, they leave gaps behind. When they press Real Madrid, yes, they have more men, they're committing a lot more men forward, but when they don't have the ball and they lose the ball, they are being exposed. And you look at that first goal, it technically is a counter attack goal. Really, wasn't it? And even the fourth goal, Rodrygo's goal, I would say, was a counter attack. So, look, I think that really was the biggest problem for Girona. Leaving lots of space, and the gap being at the back, being exploited. And this is a game that Vini Jr. likes. This is a game that he likes, because we saw it before against Barcelona. When there is a lot of space in behind, he likes to make those runs in behind, and he usually does score or get an assist or have a good game whenever he gets the opportunity to get in behind. But Girona just didn't defend like they should have. They didn't change the approach to the game, and I'm not expecting Girona to rock up to the Bernabeu with a 5 at the back, everyone defending. Of course, they want to have their own style. They want to implement the way they play. They want to use the style of football that Michel and the team play. I totally get that, but they essentially set themselves up for a failure. It was a losing battle before the game even started, because going forward, Duvbik didn't really get much of the ball and didn't really have many chances, and essentially was just waiting up there alone. And then Tizankov, Porto were quiet. Savio had some of the ball, but what was he gonna do? Because I thought the defense of Real Madrid played well. I thought Tchouaméni and Carvajal at centre back were great. Camavinga, Cruz, Valverde coming back to help out. Essentially, there were always 3 to 4, maybe even more players in the Real Madrid box. Real Madrid players in the Real Madrid box to defend. And You can see that we're trying to put crosses in for Duvbeek, but it just didn't really work out. So it was just basically set up for a failure. And I'm not saying that the way of football and the style of play is bad. I'm just saying that you cannot go into every game with the same style of football, with the same way of playing, because eventually teams will figure it out. And okay, they have played really well without teams figuring out, but we saw it against Real Sociedad. They obviously didn't win. And even teams that have managed to beat them, like Mallorca in the Copa del Rey, as well, and even teams who have managed to just pick up a draw against them, like Almeria. You know, these are teams that play a very low block, that play defensive football, and you have to get at them. You have to find a way to play physically, and I don't think this Girona team is physical enough. Obviously, they've got Dufy up top, but in defense, not really much physicality. Of course, the two centre backs are tall, but the midfield battle, Alex Garcia and Ivan Martin are not the tallest players in the midfield. And essentially, they play a two-man midfield because Portu is not a midfielder; he's more of a winger slash attacking mid. So, like I said, they were trying to play offensive, like a 4-2-4 essentially, and it really destroyed the midfield duo of Alex Garcia and Ivan Martin. I think if you had started, you know, Toure or Vitor Fernandez, it's not Vitor, it's Valery Fernandez, isn't it? I always get them mixed up. But, if he had played, Toure, for example, in the midfield, it would have been much more balanced. And I think that that was a mistake made by Girona, but that was simply how Real Madrid dominated, getting in behind. And we have seen it before against Barcelona, the 4-1 win, getting in behind. So when you see Real Madrid win 4-0, you would be surprised. But when you see how Girona played, you wouldn't really be so surprised. But what does this mean for the table? Real Madrid moved 5 points clear of Girona with 61 points to 56. But let's go through let's talk about the goals first. First goal, Vini Jr. Look, get to the defense, and what a goal! What a goal! The curl, the finish from outside the box. What a finish! Second goal, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. again. Outside of the boot pass for Bellingham, rounds past the keeper on his left foot, weaker left foot, and score. And then again, Vini Jr. again gets at Kutu, who I thought had a very, very bad game. Manages to get past him. His shot is saved by Gazzaniga, but Bellingham is there to poke in a rebound. And lastly, Rodrygo, what a goal. Again, solo effort, and smacks in the goal to wrap up what would have been a 5-0 win. We could have scored 5 or 6. Brahim Diaz had a curling effort, wide, and Joselu missed the penalty right at the end. And do I think that's a penalty? I think it's very soft, given Joselu has to score. I mean, look, penalties are 50-50, so sometimes you score, sometimes you don't. But personally, Arthur Güler won the penalty, so I would have wanted to see Arthur Güler score, or take the penalty at least, because if he scored, it would have helped his confidence. And Joselu not scoring doesn't help his confidence anyway, so, it doesn't, help him. But let's go through the starting 11. Lunin, I thought had a very good game. Didn't really have much to do, but had a very good game. Lucas Vazquez did really, really well on the right side. Tchouaméni and Carvajal were incredible together. Duvbeek was constantly trying to get to Carvajal, but obviously Carvajal played really well. And Tchouaméni is important for the team. He really is, with the physicality he has. And Fulamendi as well played pretty well. The midfield, Valverde, had a free kick shot straight at Gazzaniga in the first 15 minutes. Toni Kroos was alright, and Camavinga, I thought played really, 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 really well. I mean, apart from the front three, I think Camavinga was the stand-up player. I think bombing forward, going forward, bring the ball forward, carrying the ball forward. He was incredible, and you know, won the free kick at the start, and obviously played really really well. Um, Bellingham, 2 goals for him. I think everyone will give him the man of the match. I know, but I'll get onto it in a second. Um, that's what 20 goals and 8 assists this season already in all competitions. If I'm not wrong, that's incredible for a midfielder. Rodrygo had a good game, great goal, um, and yeah, and Vinicius Junior. I would give him a man of the match, a goal, an assist. Theoretically, had the assist for the third goal. I know it wasn't, and he also assisted the fourth goal as well. So there's 2 assists and a goal. I thought played really really well, getting him behind, and this is the Vini Junior that Real Madrid need. A player that steps up when he needs to. And when you have got Vini Junior, Bellingham, Rodrygo, Camavinga, Tchouameni, Carvajal, all these players, firing at the same time, this is what you get. But Girona, really poor, and Modric came on, didn't do much. Fran Garcia and Brahim, kind of had opportunities really. Arda Güler came on, had a good game, and Joselu missed the penalty, but penalties are 50-50. But yeah, Girona, disappointing for them, really. But you just have to move on, and it is what it is, essentially. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.